And tell me again, I know we've spoken before about the records you set, but in case folks didn't watch that video, yeah, just tell us what it was that happened and, you know, what the record was.
So for my personal best is a 5:15 or 5.15 seconds at 283 miles an hour. I did that this year at Gainesville, which was my second race of the year. And before this year, last year, I set my record. I went 5:17 seconds at 280 miles an hour. That was at Brainerd. And you know, each race you just kind of do a little bit better and a little bit better. But to be able to run in the teens is kind of unheard of in our class. And so, like I said earlier, the record for our class is a 5:10, but we're not able to run that fast because of the rules that NHRA set to slow us down. So we don't run too fast, and kind of, you know, they just don't want us to be able to compare us to Top Fuel. And so for us, you know, it's really great to have that under our belt, because we are, you know, we can be extremely confident in our cars and our equipment and our parts and everything that we get from our sponsors, to be able to say, hey, we put this together, we were able to run this number. And when we were in Gainesville and I ran the 5:15, my teammate Justin ran a 5:14, and that is, I believe that's one of the top 5 quickest runs ever for our class. And so to be able to have that, and that was his very first race, so that's just incredible. But that just goes to show you how great our cars are. And the weather and everything was perfect to kind of set that up for us. And like I said earlier, the weather was the same for everybody, so why wasn't other people able to run that fast? And that just kind of, you know, maybe they didn't have the right combination, maybe they were just testing out some stuff and it just didn't, you know, go as well as they planned. I can't really say what happened for them, but I know what happens for us, and we come out here and we try our best every run, and we're here to compete and win. We're not here to just be average. So
sure. Go for it all the way every time. Right?
Exactly.
Right. How do you feel about possibly being a role model to young people, especially younger girls that may be interested in kind of following along what you're doing?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
You know, that's always something that I strive for. And I remember growing up, going to the drag races, there wasn't many female drivers at all. I mean, there's Ashley Forrest, Courtney, and Brittany that came through the A-Fuel ranks. And I remember I would sit in the motorhome with Ashley Forrest and we'd watch movies together, and we still stay in touch to this day, which is great. But there wasn't that many females, and if there was, there didn't stay with it that long. And it's a hard sport, and it's hard to get enough funding and enough sponsorships to be able to stay long term. But to be able to be a role model to young women is something that I've always strived for, and I've kind of been able to do that with the help of social media, and be able to be in touch with younger girls and younger guys too that race or that want to race. And also I've been able to partner up with some great companies that really focus on education, like Pittsco, and so we've been able to build paper dragsters. That is a classroom activity for K through 12th grade students, so they can use that, they construct them in the classroom, and then they can figure out the scaled size and scaled speed and all that. And really,
so instead of paper airplanes, you got a paper dragster.
Yeah, paper dragster, exactly. Okay. So, and then they make the wheels and axles for it, so it's just a whole kit, and it's really great to be able to use that. And I get to go to conferences with them and promote it and speak and explain to teachers the importance of STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math.
Absolutely.
How I can take what I learned in school, apply that to racing. So it's just really great to be able to kind of have it all come full circle.
What would you say, what is your ultimate goal in motorsports?
My ultimate goal is, you know, I want to win a championship. I'd like to win the world championship as well as the regional one for our class. Okay. The dream would be to, if I went to Top Fuel and got a world championship there, but I know how hard that is, and I've been able to see so many drivers fail at that mostly because of lack of funding, and I don't want to just be another person that gets their Top Fuel license and then think the sponsors are just going to come to me. I know how much work I have to put into it, and I've just kind of been working my way up to that, but I would like to stay in the top alcohol class as long as I can, because this is what I grew up with. This is just, this all comes natural to me. It's what I get to do with my family, and so I would like to, you know, make my name a legend right next to my dad's name.
Well, that's great. That really is. How important is physical fitness in motorsports? Because some people may, you know, say, oh no, but what's the real story?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that I am, you know, highly promote. And I love fitness. I love having a healthy, active lifestyle. And you know, with our sport, it's not as physically active as like motocross is, or some of the other sports where you know, you have to use your body to control the bike or the car. For us, it's more of you're just kind of along for the ride. And so, but there is importance on weight, and so so I have to maintain the same weight all year long, even though I go to the gym about 3 days a week, and I'm lifting heavy weights so I can gain muscle, so I can be stronger, to be able to drive the car better, handle the brake better, and all that. But at the same time, I don't want to get heavier and gain weight. So then it all kind of comes into play, but also nutrition is very key. So when I'm at the track, I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. I have a protein shake in the morning with, I put strawberries and kale in it and stuff. So and I, you know, we do have junk food and the typical cookies and crackers and all that, which my dad loves that. He can't go a day without it. But you know, sometimes I'll have a snack here and there, but then I'll have no energy. I'll just feel groggy, and I just, you know, I'll get in the car and I'm not the same. So I've been able to really notice a big difference of when I'm eating healthy versus when I'm not. And you know, overall, you just feel better when you have more fruits and vegetables and protein and all that's good stuff for you. So.
What would you say is the best part of being a top alcohol dragster driver?
Doing it with my dad.
Okay.
Yeah, so to be able to drive the car and get to come back to him and tell him what I felt on the track, if something went wrong, give him my input, and then he can check on the computer with the data logger to figure out if I'm right, or if there was something that, you know, something else happened, or to figure out what caused what I felt. And so then, and also to be able to work on the car and, you know, get my hands dirty and all that stuff, and to be able to also bring sponsors here and to say, hey, you know, I accomplished this, and you know, that's just the best part.
Absolutely. You know, when it comes to women in motorsports, frequently the topic of sexism comes up. You know, I guess I'm thinking that with your dad being Randy Meyer, people probably wouldn't have the nerve to try to do anything to intimidate you. But have you experienced anything that could be, you know, maybe you've had to contend with that your male counterparts might not have had to contend with?
I don't think so, but a lot of it, I would say, does have to do with my dad. So everyone that kind of knows the sport has heard of my dad, or they know who he is, and so they know how tough and how big of a bear he can be. But also the kind of way that he raised us and the standards that he has for me and my sister. You know, we're here to promote, but we're not going to do it a dirty way, so to say.
Sure.
So, you know, you won't see me and my sister out there in really tight shirts, you know, showing cleavage or anything sexual like that. You know, we're just kind of just one of the guys. And I wouldn't really say there's been anything different that we've experienced versus everybody else out here. Like I said, I've grown up with these guys. I've known them my whole life, and they just kind of treat me like I was their own daughter. And so they're not going to really do anything to try to intimidate me or kind of, you know, mentally affect me as a driver. Whereas you can play games, and there's some drivers out here that do, but those are usually the ones who aren't really on a professional level as we are, and most of the guys out here, they're just the guys that it's just a hobby and they're just here for the weekend, and so they want to try to mess you up as much as they can to get as big of an advantage as they can. Because
they know they can't just straight up compete with you.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they might be fast, but we can be faster, and so they don't want to, you know, take that chance. But like I said, a lot of the guys out here don't do that. We're all family, and we all cheer for each other as well.
Yep.
Even if I lose, I'll go up on the starting line for the next round and cheer on the guy that I lost to, just because he's a good friend and I want to see him do good.
Sure.
And like a great example is Mia Tedesco, who is my personal best friend, and because we kind of had the same lifestyle growing up, and she still races super gas, and whereas I have my super comp car, but I don't race it anymore. And so we're able to, we have the same background, and so we can kind of compare notes as to what our cars did at the end of the day, and just hang out and just have fun.
Alrighty. Well, Megan, I think that's all I've got, and I thank you so much for spending some time.
No, thank you. Those were great questions.
Thank you, Megan.